Happy Monday, everyone. How are you?
I'm great, thank
Good.
you.
Good. Did everyone have a good weekend?
Yeah, but very short.
It is always so short, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I see that you guys have already added your names to today's attendance, so I know you're here. So I just want to ask each of you to tell me one positive thing from this weekend to start our lesson. So we'll start in order with Ivana. Tell us one positive thing from your weekend.
My weekend was working weekend because I'm also a photographer. So I had one photo shoot on Saturday and one on Sunday. But because it's my passion, I'm happy that I could do that. First photo shoot was with my friend. The second one was in the atelier or the studio, in the studio of one Czech famous artist. So I met a lot of new people, lots of new friends, and I also think that my pictures were great.
Wonderful. That is great. How long have you been doing photography?
I think 1 year or maybe 1.5. So now I take it as my studying period.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, always a student. I like that. Good. Thank you, Ivana. Next up, Ivo, tell us a positive thing from your weekend.
At least one positive thing about my weekend is that Peter Pavel won the first round in the president's election. We were watching with my both friends at our flat or house, so we were all happy.
Wonderful. And Petr Pavel, he is also the general, correct? Okay, good. Yeah, I saw that he came in.
That's the one, yeah.
Good. I'm happy that your candidate came through, so we'll now pay attention to the second round, correct? Yep. Okay, good. All right, and last one, Carolina, tell us something positive about your weekend.
My weekend was kind of the lazy one, so I have read almost the whole weekend the new book of Matthew Perry, and because I love Friends, the show Friends, I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, this was very positive. I could just relax and read, and that was kind of good.
I have also started reading his book, so very interesting. Yeah, I may be only 5% into the book, but yeah, I've also been reading it, so very good, nice. All right, so I also like those relaxing weekends. So now that we've talked about something positive, we're going to transition to our topic for today, which is a bit negative. So we're going to be looking at office annoyances. So as you can see on our first slide, the things that we're going to be doing today. As always, we are going to have discussions about the topic. We're going to have a first discussion, and then as long as we have time, we will have a final discussion. If not, we will, of course, continue next week. We will learn and practice some vocabulary with a game. Some of it may be new, some of it you might already know, but at least to review. And then we're going to have a reading today as well about this topic of our office annoyances. So to start off, let's look at our first discussion. On slide number 2, I have 2 questions for you. Office annoyances. How often do you or your coworkers complain about work? And what do you complain about? So take a couple of seconds, think of these questions, and when you have your response, you can go ahead and start. So, Eva, would you like to start? How often do you and your coworkers complain about work?
I don't think that we complain a lot because there are not many things to complain about, or maybe we are the cause of all the troubles and that's why we are not complaining. But maybe sometimes when we need something from somebody else, we are surprised that it takes so long. But we are not a big company. It's a few teams. Usually we are in the same building, and it's not so difficult to knock on the door, ask somebody for something. But then you send the email. You wait a week, somebody sends you the email back, somebody replies. That yes, thank you for the email. So I asked this guy, and now I'm waiting for his email. So, and they are sitting next to each other. So I don't know, but maybe this is the first thing that came to my mind. And also, when you come to work on Monday and the coffee machine is not working, that's a really very, very bad thing that could happen. But it doesn't happen very often.
That's the worst day not to have coffee, I think, is on Mondays. So yeah, I would also complain about that.
Monday is very bad because everybody has so much energy and they want to do so much stuff. And after my weekend, I'm so slow on Monday.
I agree. One thing you mentioned, Eva, you said maybe you are the cause of troubles. Do you know the name that we would use for a person who causes trouble?
Maybe I'm a troublemaker.
Yes, exactly, a troublemaker. Or if all three of you are the troublemakers. Very good. Wonderful. All right, Eva, what about you? How often do you or your coworkers complain about work, and what do you complain about?
I have to say that at our office we are not usually complaining neither. But when we are, it's usually about our clients and their speed of communication and responding to our emails or messages as well, as Ivana says.
Mm-hmm. So saying that communication. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what I'm complaining about, it's typical, is about Monday as well, but for me is total opposite, because I have no energy in Mondays, and my colleagues have 0% energy as well. So we are starting on the Mondays, and then we are starting. Yeah. Thank you.
Slowly getting more energized. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't get there, and it's Friday already.
Okay, good. All right, thank you for that, Ivo. And Carolina, how often do you or your coworkers complain about work, and what do you complain about?
Yeah, actually, I'm working in a really small team, and 3 people, and we are not really the complaining type of people. I'm happy for it. But sometimes we do complain, and actually maybe it's basically that the changes are not so quick as we wish to be, and that takes some time to accept it and to implement it. So that's it.
Good. Yeah, I can see that being, something to complain about. So it sounds a lot about communication, timing of things. Okay, definitely the coffee thing. And so some phrases you guys used in the first sentence, not a lot, not usually, sometimes. These are all to describe how often we do things. What are some other words that you know that we can use to describe how often? What if we do something 100% of the time?
I think I got lost now, or I didn't understand the question.
So if we answer the question, how often, we can say not a lot, not usually, sometimes. What other words can we say? Ivo said always. Mm-hmm. Any others we can think of? Say that again.
Every time.
Every time. Good. What about 0% of the time? What would we say?
Never.
Never. Good. So these are all just to talk about when people ask how often. How often do you do photography? How often do you complain? How often do you read? These are different adverbs used to talk about time. Okay, I now want to move on to actual things people complain about, our second question. So if you move to slide number 3, you will see a variety of different issues from the office. These are very common things people complain about. And I want to know from these, which ones annoy you the most and the least. But first, I just want you to read through them. Do you understand all of what they mean? Do you understand the vocabulary?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So if you know what they all mean, what does munching mean?
I think it's making a lot of noise while eating.
Yes, good. With your cheeks, yeah. Making noise, yeah. Eating loudly, good.
That's terrifying.
It is, yes. What does it mean, embarrassing?
Some like lame.
It could be lame or just uncomfortable. You don't really enjoy it. Good. What about gossip?
That's my favorite thing to do during the coffee breaks, and it's trying to humiliate your colleagues as much as possible by fake news.
Good word, humiliate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just talking about others. Good. All right, so these are very common complaints that people have. So I want you guys, the three of you together, to come up with a list of, for the three of you, which one annoys you the most all the way to the least. I'm going to only give you about 2 or 3 minutes for you to discuss without me. And while you're discussing it, I want you to move these into the correct order. So you see how I did that?
Okay.
So I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves about 2 or 3 minutes. Try and make a list that you agree on. The most annoying at the top, least annoying, doesn't bother you at the bottom.
So Ivo, you will be the boss. You will be moving these things because I don't have the mouse.
Me neither. I only touch
do you have your favorites?
My favorite or the least favorite is office gossip. I hate it.
You hate all the I can't wait to do it. Blush. So probably this will be somewhere in the middle then. And Caroline, and you and office gossip, do you love it or you really hate it? When it's not about you, when it's you doing it.
I don't like it, but I don't need it.
So in the middle, started in the middle, okay.
Natural position.
And what about the munching loudly on lunch?
It doesn't happen to me very often since my colleagues are very sophisticated. You are doing it?
Yeah, but I have my mouth closed. But
good job. Or you can eat alone. I have a solution for you. You can eat alone.
Thank you, I will try it.
I would leave it on the first place.
The munching, okay.
Yeah, it's really not very nice. What makes me upset? Being copied into emails that don't concern me.
Yeah, me too.
Happen to me very often, but I don't understand the point of it, because then only 2% of the information really has to do something with you. Why do you have to read all these things?
Just throw it in a trash can and it's done.
So we put it higher?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Because I don't have my mouse. And I'm also
I can do it.
On the second place?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
So let's make top 3. What will we put to the third place? What about unrealistic deadlines? Maybe it can stay on the third place.
Yeah. Anonymous Jipka will try to do it.
Yeah. I don't like to figure out that I get the task and the deadline is today. I don't like it, because I go to work, I already have a plan in my head. I'm looking forward to what I'm going to do today, and then...
Not today.
Not today, because I get some task that has to be done as soon as possible. My autistic self is suffering. Messy desks. You don't see my desk, but it's really extremely messy, so this doesn't bother me at all.
Me neither.
When I can say it, it's okay.
So we put it lower?
Yeah.
Messy desks, okay.
Then maybe meetings about meetings, because it's really time consuming and it has no value, so I would put it higher. If you are not moving anything, you are not very good at this job. Caroline, would you like to do it instead of Ivo? He is too slow.
Somebody is getting it, like anonymous Jipka. I can see anonymní gepard here.
When it's me. But I'm not good at it at all. But I will try it. I have tried before, and it was April who had to do it.
Okay. Yes. So
I can
think
move
about
it.
meetings.
I can move it. I like to have assistance, but okay. Since you failed, I will do it.
I can help out as well. I can move it while you guys discuss.
What's next? Drastic temperature. I cannot say. Drastic temperatures are in my house when I'm at my home office, not at work, so I will put it lower. Do you agree?
Yeah, because at the office I think we have
Ivo, messy desks, we are not concerned about that. You
I'm
don't
not
listen.
saying anything, Johanna.
No, deadlines. Meetings about meetings. I think it was like that. Getting a phone call when you're just about to leave the office. You can just pretend that it didn't happen. That's okay. But embarrassing team building exercises. For example, when you have to behave like a kid in some funny costume. I don't think it's comfortable for me. What do you say? Yeah, I put it to the upper level. So, favorite mug. Do you have your favorite mug at the office? No. Yes?
I do.
And does it happen to you that someone steals it? You cannot find it. That doesn't feel good.
I'm getting furious.
Okay, so I put it higher. So look at it now if you are happy with the result. Or if you want to switch some positions.
That was good with me. Yeah.
It's
So
okay for me,
maybe we are done here.
Okay, so you all agree. All right, one thing I do want to look at. So when we look at the verb munching, so this is our present continuous. So if I want to say, I am the one who, what form would we use for this?
Munches.
Perfect. We just add R-E-S. Yes. And if we want to use it in our past tense, I
Munch.
carrots yesterday. Good. Very good. Just our simple past tense, munched. Good. So your first one is colleagues munching loudly on their lunch. That's the most annoying thing. And then the least annoying, messy desk and office gossip. I know office gossip is at the bottom because Eva likes to gossip, so she can't put that at the top.
That's my thing. It's 2 against 1, so that's okay.
Carolina, why do you think, why does colleagues munching loudly on their lunch annoy you the most?
Because it's disgusting.
Yes. And when you go with this colleague for lunch every day, and you repeat the situation again and again and again, I think you are already feeling bad before the lunch when you are on the way there. So it's really the torture is long lasting.
Okay, good. Yeah, I agree. Well, we are going to read an article and it is going to talk about these annoyances, these things that annoy you or people at work. And we're going to see if you guys also chose the number one most annoying thing that is stated in the article. But before we read the article, there are 6 vocabulary words that I just want to make sure that you know what they are before we read. And I've given you each your own working slide. So Carolina, you are on slide number 4. Ivo, you're on slide number 5. And Eva, you're on slide number 6. So you will see 6 words from the article and then synonyms, so a similar word or a word with the same meaning on the right-hand side. You just have to write the letter A, B, or C in front of the word to match them together. When you're finished, we'll check them all together to make sure we have them correct. Okay, so it looks like everyone is about finished. You might still be fine-tuning your answers, and that's okay. We're going to check them together. So I'm just going to call your name. I want you to tell me what the word or phrase is, and then what is your answer for the synonym. So let's start with Eva. What did you put for number 1? What are the words and your answer?
So my words were a grip, a grievance, and I think that the synonym is a complaint.
It is a complaint. Very good. It is our noun. And when we pronounce the first one, we call it a gripe. Just like a grape, like you eat, but with a long I, a gripe. Perfect. Yes, gripe. Gripe and grievance. Good. And both of these words, one of them is US specific, American English, and one is British English. So when we use gripe, you'll hear that more in American English. You'll hear a grievance more if you're talking to people from the UK.
And does the grievance, does it have something with grief? Like mourning or crying when you're really sad?
When you go to a funeral, you might express your grievance, your sadness about it. Yeah, you're complaining that they're gone.
So there is more angriness inside the meaning or sadness?
It can be either one depending on the situation. Yeah, but it's a way that you were complaining either because you're mad about something or you're complaining because you're sad that the person is gone, that has happened. Okay. Number 2, Carolina.
To moan, to whinge, and I get a E.
And what is E?
To complain.
Perfect. Yes, this is our verb here. So to moan, again, it's American English. To whinge is very British. I don't think I've ever used it in my life, but very British. So to moan and to whinge also means to complain. You can use any of these words to mean the same thing. Good. Number 3, Ivo.
Irritable is, I have picked the C, annoyed.
Yeah, I am irritable. I am annoyed because my children didn't go to sleep on time last night. So in that way, we're using it, what is making us feel like that? I am annoyed with, I am irritable because.
That's interesting because I would guess that it would be irritated. And irritable, that is the thing that makes me angry. No?
We can use it both ways. It's irritable when you do something, or I am irritable when something is lasting a long time. I'm very irritable if I have not had coffee. Once I have coffee, I'm not. I'm a very unirritable person, yes. Okay, number 4, Eva.
Number 4 is an annoyance. So I guess that it could be an irritation, because it's also a noun.
It is a noun, and it's a thing that does annoy you. An irritation, this is an irritation for me. This is an annoyance for me. Very good. Next up, Carolina, number 5.
Pointless, and I got a at unnecessary.
Yeah, there's no point to it at all. It's unnecessary. We don't need it. Very good. And then our last one, Evo, number 6.
Okay, an issue is a synonym for a problem, sorry.
Yes, no problem. No issue there at all.
I have issue to find it.
Yeah, you can hear this at work a lot. Oh, what is the problem with this? What is the issue with this? Good. So were any of these words new for you?
The first 2 one for me. The gripe.
For me, to moan or to whinge, I didn't hear it before.
Good, yeah. You might also hear moan when you are watching a horror movie or a story about a haunted house. Ghosts moan. Yes, that's where you might have heard it. Yes. Yeah. So they're kind of complaining that they're dead. Oh, I'm still here haunting you. Yeah, like that. All right. So now I do want to just do a fun little game to practice these vocabulary words. So if you look on slide number 7, I want you just to play like one full game. So I've given you a preview of what the actual game looks like. It might remind you of a video game when you were younger, but you are going to try and run away from the aliens, and you're going to try to match the word from the bottom of the screen to the options that they give you. Some of them will have 2 of them, so it will say, what is another word, just like we had previously. So if you click on the link in the box, and it will take you to the new page, you will just enter your name. There's no signups. And then you will play probably just for about 5 minutes or so. There are 6 rounds, but good. There are 6 rounds. So if you don't make it through all 6, that is okay. So We can go ahead and end it then. So how far did each of you make? What level did you make it to? Do you remember?
I was at level 4.
Oh, okay.
I only made 2 words.
2 words. And Carolina, how many did you say?
5 levels.
5 levels. And Evo, how many for you?
4.
4. All right, Carolina, good work making it to all 5. You only have 1 left. So you can play this again to practice. You will have access to this after today's lesson. The link will stay live, so feel free to continue and see if you can make it to all 6. So I now want to look at the words that we've just practiced, and they are in our reading. So on the next slide, slide 8, this is an actual article from 2017 from the magazine or the newspaper, The Independent. And this is a British article written about the biggest office gripes or grievances or complaints they have in the office. So you've already looked at some of these when you made your list. Read the article now. I'll give you a few minutes to read it. When you're finished, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want to see if you also chose the top one that matches their list. So take a few minutes and just read the article. Okay, so it looks like you guys have all finished. So first, the very first list that we made, you all agreed for the 3 of you that colleagues munching loudly on their lunch was the number 1 complaint you have, or the number 1 gripe you have in the office. Was it the same top complaint that they had in this article?
I think it was the phone call when you are just about to leave the office.
Yes. Why do you think that, Evo?
Because the first words was taking the top spot.
Good. In paragraph 4, taking the top spot. So the number 1 place. Annoyed Brits said that getting a phone call when you're just about to leave the office for the day was the biggest pet peeve. Good. Now, is there any vocabulary questions you have about from this reading?
Maybe I never heard about the pet peeve, but from the context, it's something that annoys you a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
That's my thing that gets on my nerve.
Yes, that's a perfect definition of it. Yes. My pet peeve is when it's Monday and the coffee machine is not working. It annoys you a lot. Yep. It's a new, nice colloquial common phrase that you can use when you're speaking to your colleagues or anyone, actually. Okay, good. So from this article, I do have some homework for you because our lesson is coming to an end. But before we get to the homework, I do just want to do a quick review. On slide 9, here are some words or phrases that we looked at today outside of the lesson. And Carolina, can you tell me what it means to munch?
To eat strongly or to make noises while eating.
Ah, I like that, to make noise while eating. Good. Ivana, Eva, what does it mean embarrassing?
It's something that makes you feel ashamed or not comfortable.
I like that. Makes you feel ashamed. Okay. Evo, what is gossip besides being Eva's favorite thing?
And gossip is when we are talking about someone behind their back.
Ooh. Behind their back. Good phrase. All right. So we remember that troublemakers are the cause of troubles, you 3. And then our very new one, a pet peeve. Eva has already described it. Evo, can you describe a pet peeve in your own words?
I would say that it's something like a red button, which makes you explode.
A red button makes you explode. Good. Yeah, just something that really, really angers you or you just really don't like. Good. So that...
And can I ask, what does the peeve mean?
So peeve... When we use it, it is a verb, but it's a phrase like to be peeved. We use it in the passive form, and it means to be angry. Oh, I was peeved when I came home after the storm and water was leaking onto my laptop. So to be very angry. Yeah. Good question, Evo. Okay, so that is just some new vocabulary for today on top of what we learned today in the lesson. So for your homework, you are going to answer 5 statements from the reading. They're just true or false based on the reading. and you each have your own working space again. Carolina, you're on slide 10, Eva, 11, and Ivo on 12.
Yes, if I don't forget your homework, I will copy it.
Yes, we know she is a teacher, our troublemaker, Eva. All right, so that's our lesson for today. Do you guys have any questions about this?
What is the topic for the next lesson?
So the next lesson, we are going to finish this topic, our office annoyances. We are going to have one more discussion, and then we're going to look at office productivity and some new phrases to work about being productive. Okay, so thank you guys. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you all next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, April.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.